This place looks pretty good here. See the old pottery? That looks like old ironstone. That'd be pre-1900. There's some brick. And there's fired rock. There's probably arrowheads right in here too. Look at the rocks tumbling out. I'll see. I'll do some test screens. Put up here. Look at that. It's got designs on it. See it? See what these screens look like. Look there. There's a piece of a crock. Looks salt glazed. Probably better to metal detect here. See, there's some glass just in a few shovelfuls of dirt. No flakes. That's what I'm looking for. This is a good place to metal detect. I don't see one flake. That ain't good. And stuff, I'm further down the bank. That first test screen stunk, but that's a place to metal detect. You saw the evidence of that. The brick, but see, there's stuff here. And here, I found Flint artifacts. I found a real nice stemmed arrowhead here a couple years ago on like 4th of July weekend. And I found a real nice peach colored flint, gun flint, that is probably maybe Dutch. I'll have to look at it again, look at some books, but there's material here to sift, and I could find an old coin here. It's kind of a river crossing site that has an Indian site on it too. But this is where the most Indian stuff's at. I'll show you a screen. See that big piece of rock there? See, there's fired rock all on this. Well, let's just see what this looks like. I don't find as much flint here or any of that on this spot, but it's worth coming for videos. Let's see here. See, look at the cracked up rock. I don't see any flakes, and that's what I want to be seeing. I'll do a few more screens all around in here. I know there's something I can do here someplace. See that fired rock and stuff laying in here? See it? Some of it's brick too. And there's fired rock. It's hard to tell what's laying here. I'll sift it. These screens, see, that's an old piece of ceramic there. See, there's modern stuff in here too. That's a piece of brick, old brick, the clay. But you see, I don't have any flakes again. But this is the kind of place there isn't many. And all of a sudden you'll be sifting and there'll be a bifurcate like that big in the screen. Or a broken banner stone or something. I found some nice stuff here, Kanawha bifurcates, but it's tough to get, you see. I'll look around a little more and see if I can't get into flakes. More screens down there, and all as I'm seeing is like iron nail spikes, shards of glass with fire rock, but no flint. And sometimes that's how it is, but I think that's just going to be a place in metal detect, and I'm not spending the time there sifting all day with the hopes of one artifact. I'm going to look for a better place. I'm just showing you this because and telling you this stuff so you don't get discouraged, so you see how it really is. Oh, these rocks are heavy, son of a gun. This is what I did with every one of these. Do these till I get tired, and then come back and work on it again. This will be like this for 45 minutes. And see, I've probed this all, and all the big fire pits are dug. What I'm doing now is looking, see these roots? I'm looking for little, small swatches of land that I missed that might have a foot or two of fire pit layer that I missed that I can sift and get a few more points. It's just kind of hit and miss now, so that's where we're at. Explained in full. Just looking around a little bit, there's some fired rock in this, see? That's fired rock right there. Chunk. There's a little bit of stuff that's held in here by these roots, and let's hope there's an arrowhead in it. See, moving them rocks a little bit, feeling around them roots. There's fired rock, and look here. There's a nice flake of that black that produces rust. If I could get a nice point. See, this is the last screen. Tiny flake right there. And 2 river cobble cherts that have been busted open by ancient human hands. See? It's not natural. They were sampling this to see what they had inside that cortex. See if they wanted it. They might even made something off the side of that. That's evidence that there's going to be arrowhead. Well, you see how this can go. I've been here 2 hours and 20 minutes. I just looked. Did some work on that rock wall, but I saw this. When I start seeing little finishing flakes and flakes in the sand, I'm getting into a good spot. See, there's cracked up rock from an ancient campfire. I'll keep sifting. Hopefully I can get something. It can take all day sometimes. Well, you see, this is how I find stuff. You see the cracked up rock, little flakes. Wasn't finding nothing, couldn't even tell where to dig, just kept on it. Here's my first artifact out of here, a little blade. Nothing to brag about. $2 one, but see, found so many of these. That's decent. Well, see, this one's got some use. Some kind of little knife tool. You know, it's like a quarry blank, but the quarry's the river cobbles right there and the gravel bars. Well, boy, this stinks. This is broke. You see how this can go? I'm starting to get into decent areas again. I thought I was off of it. There's a flake. Look at this. Oh, that's a drill. And it looks like it. Oh, it might even be like a greenbrier base. It's something odd. See it? It's. You can see how it was a point, but they sharpened it way in and it's broke. Might even be like a big sandy. That looks early archaic. See that it's been started to be turned into a drill. Well, I was just gonna wait till I went back tomorrow and add more to this, but I have a bunch of clips and I want to show you how I kind of go across the process. Man, that's almost Dalton looking a little bit. And see, it's kind of like got a weird bevel to it. See it there, kind of. But that might be a big sandy. It's that real nice black flint. See, it's probably sharpened in. It looks kind of like a big sandy drill or something. I'll go back. That's cool. Well, the rake again. You saw this process. I'm about 3 hours in. I saw this flip. I think it's some kind of stem point. It's right there. Maybe it's an Adena. I'll show you next after this point. Yesterday, I didn't find much else, but I was working on that rock wall, and in my throw-out piles, when boats went by, it washed out a thick piece of pottery right below me here. So there is pottery associated with these points here, and that's what I was kind of looking for. See, there's a point, some kind of stem thing. We'll look at it. Yeah, see, here's this stem point, and I'd say this is older. It's just a cruder point. See kind of the serrated edge and the chipping, and look, that's right there's the cortex of the little river cobble. You can see it was just made out of a little pebble. A crude point worth $2 or $3. I'll show you the pottery I found in there. Found a Dina stem points in there, and I found a piece of pottery yesterday just laying there. We'll talk about it. See, in one of my throw-out piles, I looked all around where I found them Adena points, them stem points, but see, I found paleo lances right in the same area, right off of it, in the next fire pit over. So you can get confused, but there was no pottery. But see how this is kind of fired and it just looks like a pebble? I was missing it because it's all blown up. And once it got down to the water there, and I was surface hunting, I'm seeing pottery now. So I'd say, and it's real thicker than the Mississippian pottery I usually find. I'd say this is an Adena water bottle. All right, we'll look at this real quick. See right here, Cressup, late archaic, the woodland. Those are like Cressup Adena like style points. And see these weird stem bases, you know, you can get confused. See, this is made of Upper Mercer. It's a stem transitional paleo like artifact. It's old. This is no Adena, and I found this right in there, plus other ones. But look, there's a right beside this, and you see, you get confused, and there was no pottery, and I thought initially, yeah, this is an Adena, and I got other ones. I'll show you another frame next, but you see them crescents. Some of these, depending on how they're made, can look really like lances, but see this right here? Now look at this black point. I wouldn't call this just an Adena. If I wanted to really get technical, I would call that black point right there, what I'm going with, what I think it is a crescent right there. And you can pause this and read that. See, my area, I'm right on the West Virginia border into Kentucky. You can read about it there. Associated with the early Adena culture, long, squarish, tapered stem. You see, this book's good. Look at that. Now look at that. And I have the pottery now. The thick Adena looking pottery, early Adena looking pottery to go with it. Confusing when stuff like that pops up too. That's a lance. Look at the thinness. The thinness is the key. That point's thick. See the chipping and the thinness? That's a lance. And say that tan at stem point, that's an Adena. See, these are a little different, but I'd say they're all early Adena. They're all right there associated, and these are the only pieces I found to go with that black one and that thick piece of pottery. So there's two more. I'm going with early Adena. What do you think? Look here, folks. Look at him digging up there. He's digging holes all over the place. Squirrel Man is revved up. This is his third trip outside with the dog Bubby Express. Every time the dog comes out, Squirrel, look at this. He's stealing the show again, folks. If I go over and find like a big dovetail or something, Squirrel Man will be out here doing squirrel flips and stuff at the end of the video and steal the spotlight. Look at him. He knows what he's doing. He's the master. Look at him. What a dandy. Well, I hope you enjoyed. Get back to that last spot where I was moving them rocks. The reason why I didn't stay, I had to pile them rocks. I'm wet, folks. Them things are heavy. You know, you move 50 of them. That's like going to the gym and deadlifting real heavy weight, pretty much, till you're just done. And then I did the digging after that, and I'll go back. It's a nice sand layer, and man, that black piece with the tip going, that's pretty nice. That's a pretty old looking piece. It almost looks Dalton-like, kind of has a bevel. I don't know. It's probably a big sandy that's being sharpened in, but looks Dalton-y. Later.